Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be discussing Donovan Mitchell and why does he not get the respect that he deserves. This season so far, the 2023-2024 season, he's putting up career highs in points, assists, blocks, steals, rebounds, you name it, he's got it. And he's up there around the top whenever it comes to being considered in the MVP vote. The problem is, here about a week ago, he was like down around 10th. Here lately, discussions have kind of kicked up to get him up around like I believe 5th or 6th in the betting odds. But when it comes to the national media, nobody is wanting to talk about him. Whenever he was with Utah, everybody was talking about him. Now that he's been in Cleveland, nobody's talking about it. And what I wanted to do is kind of give my reasoning as to why he's not being talked about in the national media and why it seems like everybody is just rooting against Donovan Mitchell. And it's a big reason why. You can probably guess why, but we'll talk about it in the video. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight on into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like onto this video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first up, you can see up there, you can see right here all his career stats for Donovan Mitchell. Right now, he's 4th in the entire league in points per game with 28.2. He's up there around top 20 in assists per game. When you look at his regular season numbers, you can see it right here, 2023-2024 season. You can see right now, out of 46 games he's played so far at the time of recording this, he's a 47% field goal percentage. His three-point percentage is 37%, a little bit down from last year, but still nuts. Looking at his rebounds per game, 5.4 up from last year, 6.2 assists per game. He's had to play a little bit more of a point guard position this year when Garland went down, so he's getting the assists. His blocks are up, his steals are up. His points 28.2. But now that's out of the way. Kind of the reasoning as to what is going on with Donovan Mitchell. He's having great numbers, like I just showed you. He has the stats. He's got everything about it. He's got the playmaking on the court. When you watch him, he gets highlights put up on ESPN, you know, different highlights, Bleacher Report, The Athletic. They show highlights of him doing great things. But the main reasoning as to why he's not getting the credit is the market. For those of you who do not pay attention to sports that in depth, Cleveland is one of those markets that it's just not very a popular market. Cleveland, Milwaukee, Indiana, small places like that, they're not going to get the publicity and the attention like you expect. If he was playing in places like, as you see from the big superstars, places they like to go, LA, Vegas, if they ever get a team, people are going to want to go there, Miami, New York, the big time places, that's where players go. Cleveland is not one of them. That's why whenever Donovan Mitchell, he was traded from Utah and then he went to Cleveland, everybody said he was just like sent there to die, which I highly disagree, Cavs fan here. But when it comes to Donovan Mitchell, he welcomed Cleveland with open arms, Cleveland welcomed him with open arms, and we have just been having fun. But when you watch the national media, there's not been a lot of talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Even whenever they do great things, it's like nobody wants to talk about the Cavs. If they have a game-winning shot, if they have like a big time game, the only time I've seen the Cavs on NBA Today for ESPN ever be talked about is whenever they had Donovan Mitchell's 70-point game and like a big time game winning shot. Other than that, no Donovan Mitchell love, Cavs love anything. Now, in the times where he is being talked about, other than those things, what is they being talked about? They're talking about, oh, how is Donovan Mitchell going to get out of the Cleveland Cavaliers organization and get to the New York Knicks? The thing is with these mainstream people, like I said, on ESPN, Fox Sports, all these different main networks, they don't want to talk about the Cavaliers. They want to talk about, as you see from the only thing they want to talk about all these days, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Knicks. They want to talk about the big time markets, the cities that are going to sell them numbers and give them high ratings. Talking about the Cavaliers, that's not going to give you the ratings. And when it comes to Donovan Mitchell, it seems like it's just sleeping on him. Donovan Mitchell's on 2 years left on his contract. He's got this year and next year. He's due a contract extension in the summer of this year. The big question is he going to sign it? Is he not going to sign it? If he doesn't sign it, next year is going to be all living hell because it's just going to be like, bro, why are you still here? We're going to be trying to trade him in the offseason. If he decides to sign it, the deal is done, we can forget about it. But if he doesn't sign it, it's pretty much known that he wants to go to the New York Knicks. Whenever he was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he thought he was going to be a New York Knicks. The New York Knicks had a trade package. They were going to go after him, and they ended up falling through. Cavaliers snuck in. We kind of weaseled our way in there, and we took him out from under the rug. Now, when you look at the Cavaliers versus the Knicks, the thing is that I'm kind of curious about is why would they want him to go to the New York Knicks? Because when you look at the New York Knicks compared to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Knicks, it was brought up earlier today from Brian Windhorst. When you look at the Knicks, they're kind of in the same boat as what the Cavaliers were with Darius Garland. How is Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell going to work together? At the first, it was kind of working well. Here lately, it's kind of seen like it's hard to kind of get them both going. Darius Garland, he's more of a ball handler. Donovan Mitchell, he's become more of a dominant ball handler whenever Garland was out. And right now, they're not meshing that well. When you look at Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, how would they work together? Obviously, only time would tell if they ever did pair up with each other. But I'm just wondering, also, if Donovan Mitchell does go to the New York Knicks, he's going to want a big-time contract, which means the New York Knicks, they're going to have to be paying Donovan Mitchell. Jalen Brunson already has a big-time contract. Julius Randle has a big-time contract. Are they going to drop Julius Randle? Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, DiVincenzo, I think is how you say the name. they got a lot of guys that they're going to have to wonder, like, who are we going to pay? Are you going to pay everybody? Are you going to have to drop some people? Are you going to have to trade some people to Cleveland if Cleveland decides after this year, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't sign the contract? How are you going to get a hold of him? Do you got to trade some pieces to us? It ultimately just feels like if Donovan Mitchell is ever going to get respect, he's going to have to go to the Knicks. Because of the Cavaliers, he's just not getting it. Like, I really do think whenever it comes to the Cavaliers, if we were to make the playoffs this year as the 2 seed, or say even the 3 seed, if we were to make the playoffs and we won our first round series, we would get no credit. I guarantee you, no matter who we play, whether it's a Magic, a Brooklyn Nets, if we get the Knicks again, if we somehow got the Sixers or the Bucks, whoever, we're going to be picked against. Nobody's going to pick us. If we win the series, we will get just like all this talk about like, well, the other team, they struggled a lot. The Cavaliers, they just took a hold of the other team making a lot of mistakes. But if we lose, it's just going to be, well, there's the Cavs. I told you, they're not going to show up in the playoffs. The other team's just better than them. My big thing with the Cavaliers is Donovan Mitchell, he's going to show up at all times. Are we going to have the pieces around us to make him want to stay? Because that's the ultimate thing coming into the summer. If we have the pieces around us, he will want to stay. Max Strus, he's getting hot. If you saw the game, at the time of recording this, was the game right after the Cavs versus the Mavericks game where Max Strus hit that game-winning shot. Max Strus, can he keep it going? Darius Garland, can he get it going? Jared Allen, can he stay consistent? Evan Mobley, can he stay consistent? We got all these pieces around us. Okoro, Sam Merrill. There's a lot of pieces all around us. Eventually, can Amani Bates get off the bench and finally start playing? Can we make this team look enticing for Donovan Mitchell to say, you know what? I'm willing to stay here for another 4 to 5 years. Because if we can do that, that's awesome. The problem is, like I said, Donovan Mitchell, he is from New York. He wants to go home. The New York Knicks look like championship contenders. If Donovan Mitchell could go there and he can go have fun living in his hometown, back whenever he was with Utah, if I saw this report recently, he already had plans to build a home in New York. So there's that. I truly think at this point when it comes to Cleveland fans, we need to just start counting the clock, just accepting it. The playoffs are coming this year, and we need to just get ready because Donovan Mitchell, he's packing his bags. He's heading out after the season, whether it's a trade or or even next season, whenever it may be. Donovan Mitchell, he's not going to be a Cavalier for sure after next season. And it hurts as a Cavs fan to say it, but I guess we got to accept it. Because as I said a few times in this video, the only way Donovan Mitchell is ever going to get respect is if he either goes back to the New York Knicks or somehow goes out there and puts up 50+ points a game. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, if you think Donovan Mitchell is getting respect, not getting his respect, if you think he needs to go to the Knicks to get respect, if you think the Cavs will get the respect, how you think the Cavs are going to do in the playoffs, everything Cavs related. If you have an opinion on anything I said or disagree or agree with anything I said, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below as to anything I said. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell. Be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Donavan Talk Sports. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.